Hi, Betty here. This video is for anybody who is strong and struggling, because we all struggle. Life is really, really hard sometimes. And I think that it's really important to remember that the times when we break are the times when we get cracked open. And actually I was just talking to Rob about this, my partner, and when we hit rock bottom, that's when we hit something that we can spring back off, and so we have to get to rock bottom in order to experience the part of us that just is done with the struggling, with the suffering, in order to say, no, I can't go on like this. I can't do this anymore. And so if you're in a period of struggle, of suffering, of rupture, of just when things are not working the way you want them to work, you will continue to put up with that for as long as you can, as long as you're willing to. And at some point, you will say, no, that is enough. I can't do this anymore. And I think that this is really interesting, because when the trouble comes when we believe, if we have core beliefs that say, I don't deserve good things, I deserve to suffer, I deserve to struggle, our bar can be set, our tolerance for struggle and suffering will be set a lot higher than somebody who has a belief that says, I don't deserve to suffer, or I'm a good person and I deserve good things. So we each set a kind of thermometer of how much, like a thermostat is what I mean, of how much we're willing to tolerate, right? And if we believe we're a good person, we're gonna tolerate less from the world, from people, put up with less stuff. But when you kind of have an internal core belief that says, maybe it's just that struggle's part of life, this is, maybe we were brought up, your parents were struggling, suffering, you might have a belief that says, I deserve this. So those things can be addressed. But what do you do if you are in a period of struggle and suffering? And for those of us who are strong and who are perceived as being strong, people don't step forward to offer their support unless they think it's helpful or required. And when the world sees you as a very strong person, it can feel like you're on your own, because people don't know that you need support. So the first thing to do is call on the people who love you and who your friends and your family. Call on them and tell them, say, I am struggling with this thing, and maybe it's that you don't even need, maybe that they're not the person who can provide the solution, but maybe you just need to talk, or maybe you just need a break, maybe you just need someone to cook you a meal and just take care of you and give you a hug and say, you've got this. Maybe you just need that. So let people in, the people who you love, let them in, let them help you, because everybody wants to help you. Nobody wants to see you suffering and struggling. And it might be that they don't have the solutions that you seek, but everybody wants to help you, and everybody that loves you wants to would be delighted to be able to support you and offer their whatever they can in whatever way that is. So let them in, ask for support. And then the next thing is, like, when we have these periods of falling apart, of crisis, of rupture, of struggle, of hitting rock bottom, ask yourself, what is the silver lining here? Why? What is the gift in this rupture? Where is the growth? What am I being asked to, well, I don't even like that, because who's asking? What is my opportunity for learning here within this? Maybe it's a pattern that keeps recurring. What am I yet to learn? What is the thing that I'm not learning that I need to learn? How can I act differently? Because I can't remember who that quote is by, but there's a wonderful quote, isn't there? You probably know it, of, like, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results, and yet we do it all the time. We do this all the time. So how can I change my behavior? What can I do differently to get the results that elude me? And so call on your network for support. That's the first thing. Then look for the gift in the rupture. Look for the learning. Also, like, break down, cry, like, wallow, allow the emotions, journal on it, like, create some art, like, express the emotions, journal, or, like, if write a piece of poetry, sing a song, dance, move your body, like, do something with the emotion. Talk to a friend, like, record a voice note, just get it out, move it through you, allow it, and then what's the gift here? What's the learning that can come of this experience? And I want to say that I feel that our culture in the West is so obsessed with independence. And actually, I saw this beautiful video on Instagram recently by Sufi C. I think her handle is SUFEYC, Sufi C. And she was talking about how she doesn't want her child to be independent. That people, that she was doing this very attachment parenting method of never letting her child cry it out, like allowing them to nurse to sleep, and that they never cried alone. And she said people kept saying to her, well, your child will never be independent. And her response was beautiful, and I found it very moving. And she said, I don't want my child to be independent, and I totally get her on this. We're taught that independence is everything, but look at our society in the West. It's broken. We're so obsessed with being independent that we don't need each other. We don't rely on each other for anything. And our mental health statistics are shocking. Suicide rates are so high. This is not a natural way for human beings to live. We are not independent. We do not need to be independent. We should be interdependent. We should all depend on each other. What kind of insanity is this? That we don't need each other. we do need each other. We need to forge like strong connections with our communities. And so what I'm asking myself is, okay, so this, I am feeling the struggle of being of attempting to raise children in a nuclear family without, in a new area where we don't have strong connections yet. And so I'm asking, like, okay, so what can I do to bring people together? How can I be the change that I wish to see? How can I forge these connections and strengthen the connections so that people don't feel so isolated and alone, and I've been listening again to the book by Gabor Mate, The Myth of Normal, and I couldn't recommend this book more. I think every person should read this book, and it's really talking about this insanity of this Western way of raising children, where the children are not reliant. We are expecting everybody to be so independent, and that just how far this is, how far removed this is from like a healthy model of normal human behavior, which is we're tribal people. We're tribal beings. We're supposed to be together in groups, and I really think that this separation and isolation and hyper individuality is what's causing absolute breakdown in trust, in mental health, in so many areas. I think this, and therefore I believe that the solution to this crisis is to start bringing people back together. So let's ask ourselves, what can we do? What can I do within my community to bring people together? And so maybe it's invite your neighbors over for a potluck meal or a coffee morning. This week I've invited the mothers from the school over to my house for a coffee morning on Thursday. And I'm really excited to do that, to get to know people a little bit better and to forge those relationships and to show hold a space to bring people together so we can just talk about what's going on in our lives, and we can hear about in which areas each person is maybe feeling strong and maybe needing support. And then as a community, we can aim to help those who need help in the areas that they need help in. Between us, human beings don't have all the skills. We don't have everything. We're not I believe that we could, but we're all blessed with different strengths, and that's why we need each other. So let's not be afraid of showing our weaknesses and vulnerabilities, because when we do that, I believe that people love to help each other. Doesn't it feel good? Just ask yourself this. If your friend is struggling in an area that you have a lot of experience and confidence, don't you love to offer your support to your friend? Well, how do you feel when it's you who needs that support? Are you as equally as comfortable to receive support as you are to give it? Because so many people are not good at receiving, not good at showing any vulnerability. But I really would love to advocate for us all to make a point of this time when the world is so divided. Let's look at our own individual circumstances, our own communities, and in our where you live. how can you bring people together? How can you provide? What can you do to help to heal humanity by bringing people together? And then maybe it's just inviting people over for coffee one morning. Maybe it's like arranging an evening in the local community center or village hall, where people can come and share music or bring a dish. It doesn't need to be complicated. It doesn't need to be, it doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is bringing people together, and that really is how I see it. So those are my biggest the points, again, just to go over them, is like, ask for help when you're struggling. Bring people together, and offer something, offer a way of bringing people together, offer what is it that you find so easy, and how could you help somebody with that, and what is the area that you need the support with. And like, I challenge you, why not now, when you finish watching this video, just reach out to somebody and say, hey, I'm struggling in this area. Would you be up for going for a coffee with me, virtual or otherwise, and just talking this through and helping me try and find some solutions to this? Wouldn't that be interesting to open yourself up in that way and show that you're struggling and ask for support? I am almost certain that you will be overwhelmed by the response, because I believe in humans. I believe that we all want to help each other, but we don't know how, because nobody's asking for the help that they need. So go ask for help. And if you don't need help right now, go offer your help to somebody who needs it. I love you. Have a lovely, lovely day. If you want to find out more, go to bettycottonbertels.com. BettyCottambertels.com. Bye.